Salve, rapaziada, como vocês estão? Bom, tô configurando aqui o OBS, vai ser a primeira live nossa aqui no YouTube. Vamos ver se vai dar certo. Espero. Eu vou pegar aqui meu outro canal pra gente ver como que a gente tá streamando antes de fazer essa live aqui, né? Pra ver se tá tudo certo. Se tiver tudo certinho, a gente já começa aqui a fazer o vídeo. E hoje a gente vai fazer um react dos caras da Donut Media que vieram aqui pro Brasil. E essa live aqui eu não vou cortar e também não vou editar, viu? Eu vou deixar salva na íntegra no canal pra gente provar que a gente faz o teste, bota a cara mesmo esse vídeo. Só deixa eu conectar aqui no meu celular, vamos ver se o áudio tá certinho. Se tiver certinho, a gente vai iniciar. Ó, saiu. Bom, agora deixa eu ver se tá com o som do YouTube saindo, gente.
X24 combina um sistema de CRM inteligente e ferramentas modernas de...
ODS, né?
Estou no Brasil.
Bom, tudo certinho, rapaziada. Salve, rapaziada, como que vocês estão? Bem-vindos a mais um vídeo do canal. Na real, essa é a primeira live do canal que eu vou deixar aqui na íntegra pra todo mundo. E vamos ver hoje aqui um vídeo que é do Donut Media, que todo mundo já viu. Todo mundo que curte carro, eu acho, pelo menos já viu. Mas a gente vai ver de novo. Acho que já deve ser a quarta ou quinta vez que eu vejo esse vídeo, porque eu gosto dele. E quem não viu também, vai ver junto com nós. Deixa eu só ver como que eu tô aqui. E vambora, rapaziada. Qualquer coisinha, qualquer sinal que vocês tiverem na live pra me dar, pode me dar que eu vou vendo aqui no celular, viu? Não tem erro. Bom, vamos lá. Aqui.
Estou no Brasil.
Tá dublado, velho.
Puta merda.
Tá legendado porque a dublagem do YouTube é muito. A gente deixar legendado é melhor, a gente vai lendo e vai desenrolando aqui. A gente. Faixa de áudio português, não. Inglês original. A legenda. Bora.
This is Brazil.
Pra quem não manja, esses caras aqui do Donut Media é um dos maiores, se não o maior canal automotivo do mundo, tá? Os caras são americanos e eles são lá da Califórnia. Faz, muito. Sempre assisti os caras antes de ter canal no YouTube.
I've heard it's home to one of the most unique and surprising car cultures in the world. I've never even heard of half the cars here, and the way they're building and modifying these cars is completely unique to Brazil.
Yo, this thing is crazy. But why? Why is it so different? Well, I'm here in Sao Paulo to figure that out. I'm gonna meet the locals, I'm gonna check out the car scene, and hopefully, if I'm lucky, I'll get my hands on the wheel of one of these crazy Brazilian rides.
Mano, eu queria descobrir como que esses caras aí do Donut Media descobriram o Brasil, velho. Como que eles interessaram tanto pela automotiva de cá e vieram ver vídeo aqui, tá ligado? Despertou o interesse dos caras. É que assim, a gente é louco, né? Mas vai saber. Gente, vou ser bem honesto pra vocês, eu acho que vou tirar essa legenda. Vai ficar muito.
Police is coming, so we have to.
Time to go? So this is Sao Paulo, a city with a population of over 12 million. That's more than New York and Los Angeles combined. I'll be spending the next few days here. The first.
Bom, falou aí que, né, sei lá se eu vou ficar legendando pra vocês, mas assim, ele falou que tá em São Paulo, cidade de 12 milhões de pessoas, e que a combinação de Nova York e Los Angeles não chega na população de São Paulo.
thing I need to do is go find one of those 12 million. My good friend G, who's worked for Donut for years now. Let's go find him.
G will be our guide for the next few days. He showed us around the city, and we got acquainted with some of the locals.
Pô, por que todo mundo... Ih, lá vem uma... Deixa eu rolar, não. Eu falo com vocês. Por que todo mundo que curte carro já andou de skate, mano? Que é a relação, velho? Parece que a maioria dos caras que gostam de skate também gosta de carro e... Por que será, né?
But I didn't come all the way to Sao Paulo to do 360 flips. I came here for some cars. G has arranged for us to check out a local tuning shop on the other side of the city. One of the first things you'll notice here is the insane amount of Volkswagens.
It's a Saveiro.
Saveiro,
It's
yeah, okay,
a
I've heard of that.
utility version of a Gol.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that buzz.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Do you know how late they made that kind of thing?
Oh, it was like 5 years back or something.
Really?
I mean, not 5, but like, it's recent, yeah.
Volkswagen of Brazil operates independently from Germany, and most of the models are completely unique to the
negar, né? Volkswagen é fortíssima no
Brazilian market. It's actually Brazil's biggest car company, and the most popular model is this, the Gol. No, not the Golf, the Gol. It's just like a Golf, but a little smaller, a little less fancy, and a little cheaper. Not only...
Bom, aqui basicamente eles estão falando que eles nunca viram Gol. Gol só existe no Brasil, Gol lá fora. Então, o Gol seria o que fosse o Golf para eles. O Golf para eles é carro de baixo custo. O Golf para eles é tipo assim, carro popular. E pra gente o Golf já é um carro legal, né? Então a gente ali que o Gol é o carro mais básico, benefício.
Only is the Gol Brazil's most popular car, it's also their most popular tuner car. The shop we're going to is called Arved's Garage, and they specialize in V-dubs like these.
All right, we're here at Arved's Garage. Arved, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're gonna check out some of the Volkswagens he's working on down here in Brazil. Awesome, well, that's a good looking build.
Yeah, nice cars. This is a Polo GTI. You don't have Polos in the US. Yeah, small car, but very fun to drive.
Ooh, yeah,
VR6.
VR6. Wow, so you guys do basically everything here.
Yes.
I miss doing body work. I don't do it anymore.
If you want, I'm a lot of good work.
Clearly, these dudes love Volkswagens, but they don't always get the parts we do when it comes to modifying them, so sometimes they have to get a little crafty.
So they don't have easy access to slotted brake rotors, so they slot them themselves.
Aí eu mostrando como a gente faz o nosso upgrade de freio aqui na mão, né? Fazendo todo ali os discos ficar mais ventilado, né? E resfriar melhor, enfim. E a gente aqui se vira. Basicamente o vídeo é isso, mostrando que a gente tem uma cena da hora automotiva no Brasil, mesmo não tendo recurso.
Their little mill here, which is pretty cool. That's a good way to do it.
The reason they even have to do this stuff is because foreign products are heavily taxed, and that's why you really don't see that many imported cars. Brazil is a proudly independent country, and over the years has levied taxes and embargoes to support Brazilian automotive industry and reduce dependence on foreign markets. If you want to import a car like a 350Z or an E36, you can expect to pay nearly double once you factor in all the taxes. And then getting parts for those cars can be a nightmare. That doesn't stop determined enthusiasts from importing them, but for the majority of car people, options are limited, so they just work with what they got.
So it might seem like it's kind of the only type of car here in Brazil, but that's not really the case. I think we're going to go find ourselves a little bit of a car meet and see what else is out there. First off, thank you to Nissan for sponsoring today's video. Second off, it's literally you have to assemble it. Akko, it also has and a vertical degrees that it would stay hot dog sandwich, but that doesn't. Are you kidding me? Oh, and
local gas stations. G tells me this is where the local car scene gets together every Thursday night, which is the unofficial car night in Sao Paulo. And tonight is Wednesday. But we called a few friends and invited them out anyway.
Sick. It's all happening, baby. Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you too. Well, that thing's sick. It's crazy, you know? Crazy. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Tipo assim, postinho que a gente vai é da hora, mas não é só carro top, assim, é porque os gringos estavam aí já deve ter chamado a galera pesada. Tem carro legal, mas geralmente tem chamado carro que a gente monta, né?
Yeah, that had a low car sticker on it. Oh, nice shirt. Hey, nice to meet you, man. Woo! I recognize that setup a little bit.
My father wanted to thank you about that video you guys made about the oil stains in the ground.
Oh, nice. I love that. They're coming out of the woodwork.
Is this normal here? Yeah, it's normal.
As you may notice, there are cars like 350Zs and E36s that we all know and love, but I also want to see stuff like this. And this is what you see most of the time. When you're out on the streets, these are all over the road. Take a peek down there. That's a pretty fat turbo. 330 to the wheels. I'm assuming this is running on ethanol? Yeah. All right, so that big turbo explains why this thing is sitting the way it is. So this is a front-wheel drive car. They rake these out to get a little bit more weight on the front so that they have more traction. And I've heard this is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. I hear there are people making 600, 700 horsepower. And part of that is because of the ethanol, but part of that is because these people are crazy.
Oi!
this guy showed up. This right here is a Chevette Opala, a car that was made and sold here in Brazil for decades. Just like Volkswagen, there's also a GM of Brazil that makes completely different cars from what we get in the States. What makes the Opala so special is that it's rear-wheel drive. There are barely any rear-wheel drive cars made in Brazil, so enthusiasts absolutely love them. And the owner of this one just asked Max and I if we wanted to hop in the car for a ride, so of course we said yes. And based on all the people whipping out their phones, I'm starting to think maybe I should have said no.
I see there's no seatbelts back here.
Or up here.
Uma comparada dessa aí. A cara nossa virada.
Daniel, me ajuda a começar 2024 com uma renda...
Enfim, o que ele falou ali no vídeo foi que o alemão convidou eles para poder andar no carro e eles pensaram, mas como não dizer.
Didn't know he was gonna do that. If I knew the car didn't have seatbelts and the dude was about to go full Vin Diesel on us, yeah, maybe I would have thought again. But we are already in the car, so there's no going back now.
It's going crazy right now.
Police is coming, so we have to...
Time to go?
So that was interesting. But there's something else interesting about these gas station car meets. The gas.
Look at that. Ethanol.
Or more specifically, the ethanol.
De achar na Gringo.
Remember how Brazil wants to reduce reliance on foreign...
Rapaziada, eu sei que eu falei pra vocês que eu assisti esse vídeo, mas essas informações assim que eu tenho não é só por conta desse vídeo, tá? Realmente a gente sabe que o etanol é difícil de achar, enfim. A cana de açúcar é originalmente assim BR demais.
Markets? Well, a huge part of that is offering Brazilian-made sugarcane ethanol at the fuel pumps, and this has been the case here since the gas crisis in the 70s. This sugar fuel makes up about 40% of the country's transportation fuel, and nearly all new cars are able to run it, and most old...
Mesmo a gente sendo dos maiores ou maior produtor da cana de açúcar e o álcool, a gente ainda é um país que é o que é, velho. Olha como que... Imagina.
Cars like the ones we've seen here tonight have been modified to accept it. And the thing with ethanol is, you can make a lot more horsepower than with gas. And that's part of the reason these guys are able to squeeze so much power out of these tiny little engines. So how much power can you actually squeeze out of these little engines? Well, our next stop is a shop that's building 4-cylinders with more power than just about anything at this gas station meet. And they focus on a specific 4-cylinder, the most popular one in Brazil, the Volkswagen AP engine. We're here at Made for Street Motorsports, and the owner, Robinho, has some pretty interesting AP-powered cars to show us.
This thing is so clean, it looks like it's fresh off the showroom floor.
This is a Volkswagen Saveiro, a little stubby pickup truck version of the Gol.
Can you imagine having one of these in the States? It would be so cool. All right.
In this engine, they are using motorcycle pistons.
Oh, and the ITB setup, is that?
ITB, those are made in Brazil for this type of setup.
As a modification?
Yes.
Fires right up. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
8.000, raridade.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's a big turbo for this little thing.
So everything here is forged in Brazil. Yeah. Like the whole block, everything's for 1,000.
Go for 1,000.
It's the only car that doesn't run because of it's the ownership car. So
that's how it always is. I understand.
Shall we move on to this?
Yeah, this thing is awesome. It just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
So it's clear that they're making big power with these little 4-cylinders. But how are they doing?
Vocês veem, né? Às vezes a gente desce o AP. Assim, desce naquelas que eu tô falando. Ah, pô, o AP é um carro mais básico. Mano, mais básico nada. Bem montado até os gringos. Só que eles têm... Assim, olha, eles carros de 6 cilindros super normal. Não 4 cilindros forte igual o nosso. É assim, é diferente do que a gente faz, velho.
Well, with all this stuff, the AP engine has a huge amount of aftermarket support. Unsurprisingly, all this stuff is made right here in Brazil. From the pistons, to the rods, to the valves, to the entire head, and everything in between, Brazilian companies have done everything they can to squeeze the most juice out of these APs.
These are awesome.
And that's why the AP is the go-to choice.
Rapaziada, tô olhando aqui um pouquinho pra baixo, que parece que a live caída aqui. Ah, se tá rolando. Primeira vez, né? Eu clico. Mas não mostra.
To swap into just about any car, not just Volkswagens. It's kind of like the LS swap of Brazil.
All right, well, this thing sounds awesome. We made, I think it was about 450 wheel horsepower on low boost, which is 36 PSI. High boost is 50 PSI, and supposedly make somewhere in the ballpark of 650 wheel horsepower, which is crazy.
And you want to know something? I want to see some of these insane AP engines in action. I must drive one. And to do that, G has one more thing up his sleeve to cap.
Acho que, galera, parece que a live caiu. Tá? Tá rolando. Ah. Rapaz. Eu tava telando o vídeo do cara. Será que não podia? Ó. Tá dando de falar. Galera, vou encerrar aqui a live por enquanto. Pra ver o que pegou. Tomara que o canal tenha tomado like ou coisa. Mas. Volta. Esse era um dos meus. Bom, vou encerrar por hora e volta. Pera aí, rapaziada. Já voltemos. Ou se voltar vai ter vídeo hoje ou amanhã, viu? Aí.